Hi, I'm Lei.
And I'm Rhonnie.
And this is Jupiter Juice.
Yeah. And today we are talking about the planets.
Wow.
Yeah, that's as simple as that. I mean, we're getting to the nitty gritty. We're getting detailed. So yeah, want to start this thing off?
Yeah.
Oh, and we don't have a drink today.
Oh.
And it's water. It's water.
Drink your water.
I am injured. So.
Send Rhonnie love.
Yeah.
Send Rhonnie love.
Yeah, it's gonna be mocktails for the no alcohol.
I would say do mocktails anyway.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Water is essential to life, to health, to healing, to water.
Yes, to water.
Yeah. Shout out to our sponsor, Core. So much for like.
We wish, but hey, we wouldn't mind. Yeah.
So yeah, planets. What are they? Some might ask. So planets represent like different aspects of your life. So say your life is the story, the planets would be different characters in the story or even different plot points. Fun fact, the planets in the sky are very similar if you kind of observe them to astrologically planets. Duh. Why is that? Because astronomy and astrology were together as one before the 17th century, and then after that people started being like science as a mean to control the masses. So there you have it. That's where they got separated.
Yeah.
So before we get like into the nitty gritty of the planets, it's important to know that they have essential dignities. What does that mean? It just means it kind of sets the stage for how the planet is going to perform in a sign.
Yeah.
So you have what planet is domicile in a sign, what planet is detriment, exalted, and fall. So when a planet is domicile in a sign, it just means that the planet is ruling those signs. So for example, Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. So obviously that planet is going to do way better in that sign. It's going to feel at home. It's going to feel comfortable. It's going to feel like it's flowing really well with the energy. When you have a detriment planet, that planet is the opposite of whatever sign its ruler is. So what's opposite of Aries? Libra. Mars is detriment in Libra. Okay, so yeah, in a detriment sign, the planet feels uncomfortable. It's kind of forced to grow. It's forced to like do unconventional things to survive and to thrive in that planet. When a planet is exalted, it just means that it's treated like an honored guest. That's what I always learned. It's treated like oh my god, like thanks for coming over, Taurus. That's what the moon is saying to Taurus.
Yeah.
So it does really well in that sign. It kind of like has like a complex of like laziness or like effortlessness to it. So it's like it doesn't really have to think too hard or try too hard about it. It just kind of shows up and does it and is expecting the best. Now, opposite of that is fall. So when a planet is fall, it's the opposite of whatever it was exalted in. So the moon exalts in Taurus, it's going to fall in Capricorn. Scorpio. It's going to fall in Scorpio. So a planet is fall when it is opposite the sign of its exaltation. So the moon is exalted in Taurus, but it is fall in Scorpio. So Scorpio, angsty, like, oh, I'm so uncomfortable here. So, any planet that's fall, it's going to want to be hidden. So detriment kind of doesn't mind like doing things unconventionally, and it's like, whatever, I'm going to show up anyway, and even though it's weird, I'm going to show up. Fall is more so like, don't look at me.
Yeah.
Everybody's against me, like I'm paranoid, I don't like being here, I don't like this planet, what the fuck is this planet? Like everybody's like really sus on this planet. That's how the sign feels in that. So.
Yeah. So we're going to start getting into the planets, but we're actually going to start with the luminaries. And so luminaries would be luminaries in the sky, so which would be the sun and the moon. So we're going to start the moon. So not the moon, we're going to start with the sun. Duh, okay, boffish energy. Anyway, sun is a masculine sign. It is yang energy. It is about your consciousness, the ego, the here and now. It's like how you show up and show where you shine. Leo is ruled by the sun. So when I think of Leo, I think about like the star, the showrunner, like hey,
right,
big energy, big bright energy.
Like I'm here, we can start now.
Yeah. So it like some fun facts about the sun when it comes to like, you know, esoteric subjects and things like that. It does rule the solar plexus and the heart as well. So that's like a little fun fact. And that's also like the sun, when something like your sun sign, that's kind of like what people really go by when they like, just on like a general sense when describing someone. It's like, oh, I'm a Gemini sun, so I'm this, or like I'm a Leo sun, and I'm this. Of course it's more than that, but of course it's the first thing that we learn about someone is their sun sign. When it comes to their moon sign, that deals with your emotions and your intuition, and I would say intellect. It's yin energy, feminine energy. It's nurturing. I would say Cancer technically does really well in that. Like, I would say more water signs do well in the moon energy. I'm a Capricorn moon, and technically the moon in Capricorn is not like the best feeling place, but I feel like it, like on a personal sense, it does make me feel a little bit stronger. Like because it's something that I have to work at. It's like a really big subject in my chart, but the moon also, it rules Cancer. It's exalted in Taurus. It's detriment in Capricorn, fall in Scorpio, like she said earlier. Also the moon affects the earth, like things that happen on the earth a lot, okay? It affects the oceans. A lot of sailors and things like that, they follow the moon. Also it affects because it is a feminine planet, it does affect the feminine, especially when it comes to our menstrual cycles. The moon operates on a 28-day cycle, and our cycles are 28 days, give or take. And so I don't know about any other women, I'm pretty sure they do feel that way too, but I'm very connected to the moon. I'm very drawn to the moon. Like when I see the moon outside in the sky, I'm just like, oh my God. Like I feel like it's mother. It's weird. Mother. Like it really does feel like home for me, looking at the moon. So, and of course it's like the planet that we see, I mean, outside of the sun. Yeah. What we actually can see in the sky with the naked eye. It's, very close to it. Right. So yeah, and it also reflects the sun, and it's your inner world. That's how I feel about the moon. It's more of like the internal and what you go through, and depending on the sign, it's how you operate in that emotion and in your internal world. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun. Spirit said, yeah. Period. Sad.
But yeah, I like that, like reflecting the light of the sun, and that made something click for me because it's like, if the sun is like conscious, what we're conscious of, we're always talking about it. Like, yeah, my sun is this. Ooh, I know my sun. And it's kind of like ego centered. Yeah. And then the moon is like reflecting that light, and it's like turning inwards. So like the sun is conscious, but the moon is like subconscious. So it's like really. It's like that's how you really feel on the inside, but like on the outside, you're like saving face.
Yeah, you're presenting in a different way.
Yeah. So, and I think it's cool too that it's kind of also rules like memories and like, just like nostalgia.
And it is the mother, right? The moon is the mother.
Yeah. So it can affect them, like show your relationship with your mother in your chart for sure. For sure.
So next we're going to talk about the inner planets, and the inner planets deal with what affects you on an individual basis. Alrighty, so the first inner planet we're going to speak about is Mercury, and Mercury rules signs Gemini and Virgo. It deals with all things communication, intellect, information, technology. It is the infamous planet. When we speak about Mercury retrograde, of course, we actually have a pretty crazy one coming up in March. It will Mercury will be retrograde in Aries and Pisces, correct? Okay, yes. So that's March is gonna be, it's definitely March Madness next month.
Yeah, March Madness,
March
baby.
Madness
Who you
next
got?
month. So, like, for example, just since we're on the subject of retrogrades a little bit, and because like when people think about Mercury, they think about retrogrades mainly. When it is retrograde, it does affect like your technology and how you communicate with people. So, for example, with Mercury being retrograde in Aries, you need to watch how you talk to people, or watch how
you get a little real snappy.
Yeah, you can get very snappy. So it's like that's something that you need to be mindful of, especially with all the other activity that's happening next month. That's something to be mindful of, and of course, we actually plan on talking about that a little bit when the month of March happens. But I digress. So it also deals with transportation. Some positive qualities of Mercury would be a great networker, smart, nerdy, someone that people like to tell their business to. I'm telling you, people love to tell me their business. And some negative qualities. She put liar. I mean, that could be real.
You literally said, yeah, like, I
no.
Everybody lies.
No, but like
Mercury's talking. It's your mouth that you're moving. When you're talking, you talking slick.
Yeah,
so it's like just think of somebody slick. Like think of that person on the corner, like the negative manifestation of Mercury. Think of that person at the gas station. You always go to the gas station.
Yes.
And they just like, come on, bro. Like I can see you like, come on, oh, what you want to go to? And always trying to talk. Always trying to like, get in your face. Always keep going. Always got something to say. Always trying to like smooth, slick.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
Like, hey, I don't.
No, but I get it.
Yeah, the good positive quality is like the bubbly person that's like
sociable, networker, like hey.
Good team player.
Yeah.
Solution oriented because they're so adaptable. They're able to think quick on your feet. Think Virgo, that's where Virgo gets that from. They're so focused on the solutions. They're so focused on figuring things out. Because Mercury fine tunes the details. It looks into the details. And it's also like how you view the world, how you view, just the lens, kind of like how you take in information and then like spit it back out.
Oh my God. And that's something that I do notice about myself. Like I'm like a sponge when it comes to information and just regurgitating that as well. It's like filter. It's like a continuous filter. Fun fact, I have 9? I would say 9 or 12 because I keep forgetting the number. I do think it's 9. But 9 aspects to my Mercury. My Mercury sign, and then I'm also a Gemini. So yeah, my sunshine is my Mercury. So it's Mercurial girl. That's funny. Wait, that is hilarious. So yeah. Fun fact about Mercury, the messenger god.
Yeah.
Yes, in Greek mythology.
Is it Hermes? Is the name Hermes too?
Yeah, I think Hermes. Ooh, the bag.
Right.
Money.
That makes sense. So yeah, moving on to Venus, one of my favorite planets. I love Venus. Even though my relationship with her, could get a little complicated. I like to call myself the love child of Venus and Mars because it shows up a lot in my life. But Venus rules relationships, love, your money, your values, how you give and receive. And it's kind of a little bit different than the moon because the moon is like giving and receiving, nurturing, and Venus is nurturing too and like love, but it's a little bit on less of a deep level and more on a conscious level. Like I'm consciously going to give this to this person, whereas the moon, the moon is more so like this is just natural, instinctual to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, reciprocation. It rules Libra and Taurus. It exalts in Pisces, which is interesting to me because it's like Pisces is so like airy and dreamy, and for some reason Venus, I get
that from Venus.
Do you?
I get dreamy. I don't get airy. I mean airy and dreamy. I mean I don't get like because when I hear airy, I'm thinking airy like kind of like
right
like in the star, but I think dreamy on a more like physical level, not like in the cloud level. Like dreamy as in like sensual or like just like when I look at someone, it's like, oh, like a fantasy,
right?
Like a sensual fantasy,
like it sparks your body.
Yeah,
like, I can see that.
It's more like body-like, versus in the clouds.
I see that.
Yeah,
Venus is definitely when you said that, just made me think of it's a very body focused sign, and I think Mars is too in a different way. But I feel like Venus is like, because Taurus gives
because I was about to say like Taurus vibes. Like,
Taurus gives like body, nature, Mother Earth, and then Libra gives body in a way. Well, to me, that's like the intellectual side.
Yeah, that's more.
Venus.
Yeah, intellectual.
Yeah,
it's more because Libra is also air as well. So, but Taurus is more of the physical representation of that planet.
Right. But yeah, like when Venus is feeling good and balanced, you're gonna feel loving. You're gonna feel like harmonizing, sensual, kind of like what you were describing in the exalts. Like, oh yes, yeah. Creative. Your creative juices are flowing. Your sexual juices are flowing. Now, when it's unbalanced, you're gonna get probably more of the traits from where it's detriment and fall. It's detriment in Aries and Scorpio, and it's fall in Virgo. So probably too focused on the details. Too focused on this has to be this way and this has to be this way. Very, very picky. Yeah. Like picky eaters kind of remind me of Venus, like when it's like, or it's like, ooh, that kind of bougie. Like when you're calling people bougie, and it's like, she bougie, but they're still like luxurious and like walking around like this. Like to me, that's like you need to work on your Venus. Okay, you think you're really Venetian, but now you got to work on that. Yeah. Okay, it's all love to you, but look at your Venus a little bit. If you find yourself to be a little self-centered, maybe unforgiving. For sure unforgiving, for sure cold. And I feel like also like on a societal level, we kind of like view Venus, because Venus rules women. So we view like women and Venus, like they have to be in this like energy of like being like cold cut. I'm going to act like a man, think like a man, act like a lick, whatever the people be saying. Yeah. And that just, that's actually ruining your Venus. It's not really standing in their power. It just causes you to be like a little bit more vain. And the patriarchy like fuels like envy between women. So it's not what you want. It's not what you want. Yes, it does. Yeah. Mars.
I hate when people talk about Mars. I hate when the TikTokers talk about Mars. Why did I say Mars like that? I'm so weird. But anyway, because when they say Mars, like, oh my god, the planet of war. I mean, yeah. But it's more than that. Mars is called the red planet, obviously, because it's red, and Mars, anger, like passion, things like that.
Exertion.
And it's like, exertion is how it's kind of how we show up. It's like our power, our energy, how we, get through things, how we fight, I wouldn't say how we argue or anything like that. Especially in relation if it's connected to like your Mercury or something like that. Definitely, or like a sign that's ruled by Mars is in like Mercury. Oh my God, y'all forgive me. I'm
still showing up. What's her Mars then? Leo. She's showing up.
I'm showing up.
Camera.
Okay.
Leo Mars.
You know what? When Mars goes in Leo, I'm gonna be. Even though I'm like down, I won't be out. What? Okay. I'm just saying. But no, like for real, like it is your drive. It's your motivation. Right now, Mars is in Cancer. It just went direct in Cancer on Sunday.
Get out of Cancer. I can't.
It's so emotion based. Yeah. It's engulfed in emotion. And it's like it's not doing well. The Mars wanna get it. Yeah. Okay? But it's like Cancer feels like stuck energy.
Yeah. Because Mars is in fall in Cancer.
Yeah.
So it's like Mars feels uncomfortable in Cancer. Cancer is coming in like, I don't like Mars energy. I'm soft. I'm watery. I don't like it here. I don't want to be here. I want to go hide. Yeah. Because what does planets in fall do? They want to go hide.
You know who I got when you did that? What's that girl's name in the Inside Out?
Sadness?
Yes. You gave me sadness like major. Like
that is giving Mars. I can see that. Yes. Manifestation of Mars.
Exactly.
Because she didn't want to do nothing. She would just lay down.
She was like, we going, life sucks.
Like dropping to the floor.
And that's kind of how I feel right now. Like, it's that energy. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people are in that energy. Like, just being out in society and just witnessing people's like, oh my God,
the energy's low. Because Mars,
very low.
Yeah. Mars is like, it's ruled by Aries and Scorpio. Yeah. So they're very passionate, intense. They go for things. Yeah. So it's like,
It's like I can achieve my goals in the sign.
Man, like it's
Very
bad.
hard.
If you feel stuck or stagnant, it's okay, honey.
Yeah.
It's almost over.
It's almost over. Oh, girl. Oh, my Mars getting a Leo. Y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing.
Even though it's in my 8th house, but like
It's in my 8th house and I love it there. I love my 8th house.
I have a hard time with my 8th house energy.
Oh, I love it. I have some good planets there. That's why I think that's the reason why I feel that
You
way.
got your energy working.
Yeah. but like
sorry. 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 It's allergy season. I gotta make sure.
I'm sorry. Just stay in there. I'm sorry because it's funny. That was funny. This whole Alright, so another thing about Mars, what else? What's positive traits about Mars? Standing in your power, positive energy. What else? Standing up for yourself and others. The knight in shining armor. Negative traits, war, misdirected anger, passive aggressiveness, and what sign in Mars do you feel like is passive aggressive? Libra.
So the detriment signs, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's like, yeah, you can like talk and whatever, talk a big game. Because again, detriment is like when they're not necessarily comfortable there, but they can work with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you're not going to completely give up. But it's like, you're like, oh, okay, well, whatever. I'm going to be sneaky and passive aggressive. And Libra just gives me that. Because it's like, I don't know. They just give me that. They just give me that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then what else? Can get suppressed and turned inward if not wide. Yeah. That honestly, that's like major. Mars is crash out.
Yeah.
Mars is crash out. Crash out energy, especially if it's like more inward.
Yeah. How you crash out.
How you crash out.
We should make
oh my god.
We should make that a little Instagram
Look at
thing.
Mars, how you crash. Oh, so now we're gonna get into some outer planets. These next two planets are considered what, social?
Yeah,
because they're not really generational.
Yeah, they change every like 2
18
1 to
months?
2 years.
Yeah, like 18 months roughly.
Yeah.
So the first one is gonna be Jupiter. Yes. Okay. Also, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're feeling this vibe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Jupiter is the planet of expansion, growth, good luck, abundance, spirituality,
your higher beliefs,
traveling, all that jazz. People consider that the lucky planet. Honestly, I'm very happy that I'm ruled by Jupiter. Oh my god. I'm going to include a clip. I'm going to include a link to a clip if you have TikTok. Yay. If you don't, I'm sorry. But it's this funny video I was telling you about earlier.
Oh,
the
yeah.
universe with Jupiter rules signs versus Saturn rules signs.
I think her name is the spiritual beast.
Yeah. Something like that. She has blue hair.
Yeah. She was a funny ass kids.
But yeah, like people, I do feel lucky. I will say.
I do, honestly.
I do feel expansive. I also feel that because we are ruled by Jupiter, us doing Jupiter juice is kind of showing up for us as our rising. Because it's more of like a spiritual teacher. We're following our path. We are expanding our mind, and we're also trying to expand the minds of our community in the masses. But yeah, Jupiter is about ethics. Would you say justice even, or justice?
I wouldn't say that. I would say it's like your
more
inner sage.
Yeah.
So it's like your inner compass, your inner guidance. Like kind of like, I wish upon a star for all the like. Yeah. When you doing that. You know. So, yeah, it
definitely is a wish upon a star type of type of energy. It also rules Sagittarius and Pisces. Yeah, because I had a brain fart. But yeah, it also rules Sagittarius and Pisces. And so I do know how it shows up for Sagittarius, but I would say, like, how do you believe it shows up like as Piscean energy?
I think like what we were just talking about with like the I wish upon a star and like dreamy energies.
Okay. It's like your wishes coming true.
Yeah, it's like wish fulfillment.
Yeah, wish fulfillment. Yeah.
And like also Pisces likes to absorb and it takes in a lot of information, but not in the same way Mercury does. It's more so because Mercury I feel like is consciously taking in information.
Yeah.
I feel like Jupiter is more so like the gravitational pull is so strong because, fun fact, Jupiter is the only planet that doesn't actually share a gravitational pull with the sun. So it doesn't actually. Restart.
Yeah.
Fun fact: Jupiter is.
So the next social planet we're speaking of is Saturn. People hate Saturn.
Daddy Saturn.
Daddy Saturn. Saturn is it is a masculine planet. It is a restrictive planet. It is a planet of hard lessons, I feel. It is a planet of patience. It is a planet of compounding growth. You know, it's like compounding. And it's small. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like small incremental growth that you don't necessarily see. And that's why you're so frustrated when it comes to Saturn. But you are essentially growing, and I think it's a planet that we should honor. I do. We hate Saturn.
I love Saturn.
I hate Saturn. I don't hate Saturn, but Saturn does rule Capricorn, and Capricorn is about hard work, structure, very real things, tangible progress. It's not in the clouds. It's very grounded. It is earth energy. It is. When I think about that, I just think about rocks.
Right.
It really just gives terrain. It gives it just.
What do you think about Aquarius energy then with it? Because it rules Aquarius too.
I would say.
Because that always tripped me up.
I would say. I guess maybe the innovation aspect, maybe, or Aquarius probably gets the innovation aspect from the whole Uranus vibe. So, right, it's Uranus.
Yeah, but I can see what you're saying with Saturn too, because it's that compounding growth that you were talking about, how it makes things over time.
It makes things of sedimentary rock. No, is it metamorphic?
Oh yeah.
It's very earth-like. And it can be a hard planet to navigate, and especially where it is in your chart. I have Saturn in my second house, and so how it shows up for me, I do have a hard time. I feel like I'm always failing, or I feel like I'm never achieving my goals. But a lot of times when I step, I'm doing it in unconventional ways. My Saturn is in Aquarius. It's going to come unconventional for me. It's not going to be the traditional route when it comes to, my growth in my finances. I mean, it is in my second house. I think that's a good house for Saturn to be in, even though people will say, oh my God, Saturn in your second house. And I think that's a good house for it to be in.
It's an earthy house.
Yeah, it's an earthy house. So,
Earth and Earth.
But yeah, I feel over time, I feel with Saturn, especially in the second house, the growth you have within that planet and where that house is, it's long lasting. It's going to last. It's not something that comes and then it just disappears. It's something that you build over time and you grow over time, and it's something that's tangible and it stays.
Yeah.
You know,
staying power for sure.
Staying power.
Yeah.
So.
Because then I think of the 10th house and Capricorn and how it's your legacy essentially.
Yeah.
Or what you're known for, how you make your mark, things like that.
Yeah. I mess with it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Father Time. Divine timing. Divine timing. And I think that's the compounded growth.
Yeah.
And patience, waiting your turn.
Yeah. Because divine timing is not, I do this and this and it leads to this. It's not really that straightforward.
It's not streamlined.
It's more so you gotta wait until the gate is lifted.
Yeah. And you gotta work for it.
And I think, I'm sorry.
No.
I think that the threshold that book was talking about.
Yeah.
I like when I said that because that makes sense. It's you gotta wait for the threshold or the portal to open before you can keep going forward. And people are all scared of their Saturn returns and blah blah blah. But just because I still am a firm believer, there's some people's Saturn returns are I didn't really feel nothing, or some people are it was kind of fine. It was fine for me. It was easy for me. But it just really depends how you work with that energy. I know Rhonnie, you already went through your Saturn return.
Yes.
So she can give us some insight. I am going through mine very soon. This summer.
My Saturn return, they say you lose a lot of people during your Saturn return, or you can lose like very close family members. That I saw it on like a podcast or something, and I did actually lose a lot of my family during my Saturn return. That was my big thing, and my Saturn. So most of my planets are in my second and 8th house, and so my connection with myself, like to resources in myself, came from my family. Like, I felt like I learned my value through my family. And like, because my family, a lot of my family members are no longer here, my foundation has like kind of started over. Like, and now it's like focused within. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of like what happened with me during my Saturn return. I left a lot of things behind. When it came to my Saturn return, I was in the music group.
It's a common thing too, I think.
Leaving things behind and evolving. I mean, like, that's what your Saturn return is about. And it's about, I don't think you really get into true adulthood, but I think you start becoming an adult and realizing the things that fit in your life and don't fit in your life. And it's really about getting rid of just the unnecessary stuff and really focusing on you as a person. You. I feel like your early 20s, like before your Saturn return, it's about, you know,
like friendships, I think, and like
keeping up with other folks. Yeah.
Because your sun like matures at 21, mm-hmm. your Mars is at 23 or 4, and then your Venus is 25. Mm-hmm. So like when Venus starts to, and then like Saturn, I think Saturn's honestly 30s is when it matures or something.
Yeah, I think it's 30. They say between like roughly between like 29 and like 32.
Yeah.
And for me, I went through my Saturn return when the pandemic started. So the pandemic had a huge effect on my family. And yeah, it's just, I let a lot of things go that served no purpose to me because of the loss I experienced. And also it's something that I'm still dealing with, but like just my internal value, because it is like I'm working on that. It highlighted for me that I need to work on how I feel about myself and my worth.
Second house value.
Second house. So yeah, and it's, even though it's more of a tangible type of planet, it's like it did show up for me tangibly. I would say resource wise, but like it really affected the inside for me for sure. Yeah, Saturn. Ooh, I gotta love it though. Right. It will help you grow. I feel like Saturn builds wisdom. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like it helps you grow into your Jupiter. I don't know how to like say that like correctly.
I catch the vibe.
You know what I'm saying? Like it helps you grow. It helps you and stay in that growth.
It's
like
very
it's a
pragmatic.
Yeah, it's a hard planet to grasp, but once you grasp it, it's like it has staying power. So.
Yeah, people say like daddy, father, child, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like very like, if you think of like your dad or a father figure, they're kind of like, the traditional trope is like, oh God, like he's so hard on me, or blah, blah, or oh, he don't let me do shit, like oh my God, my dad is so annoying, blah blah blah. It's like got into a whole vibe. But it's like that. It's like oh my God. Ugh. But at the end of the day, you know you're gonna do it because you know damn well it's gonna help you. Yeah. So
structure.
Yeah. Last thing I'm gonna say about Saturn, because I like Saturn.
I like talking about Saturn.
It rules the bones. So Capricorn is ruled by the bones. Aquarius, I think, is like connective tissue, which is interesting, which is still another hard thing. Yeah. We didn't talk about Aquarius.
Wait, because my Saturn's in Aquarius, and my bones are fucked, and my connective tissue.
And Aquarius, I think, rules the knees.
Yeah. So I have knee problems, and then my Achilles as well. And so that's connective tissues and stuff like that. And that's
the way I always associate Aquarius and Saturn is like Aquarius energy is so stubborn. And so is Saturn. So
sorry, I'm laughing because it's so true.
It's very like needs a certain structure, and it's like even though they do move unconventionally, it's still in a structured way. And they also, so it's like the 11th house I associate with too. So it's also kind of like building the structure of the mind in a way, because it's the air. So like while Saturn is building like the actual structure of things, like buildings, mountains, whatever, Aquarius is more so building the structure of like the community and how
like
work.
society,
and like how we relate to each other on that like level, and like, you know, that's why kind of Aquarius energy is kind of, it's future energy. It's always like ahead of the game. It's thinking about the future. It's thinking about how can we build a solid future. And it's even down to the water bearer aspect of it. It's like it's holding structure in the water bearer pot for watery things, for society. So it's kind of like it's a little bit elusive in the way that structures things. I think.
So the next planets we're gonna start talking about are generational planets. So these are planets that occur like every 8 to 10 years or something like that. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, just think about Gen X, most millennials have the same, you know, sign or Neptune or whatever, give or take. So the first one we're going to talk about is Uranus. Sidetracking a little bit, but kind of relating a little bit. When you mention that, like communication and like causing conflict, right? Or lack of communication. The reason why I say evil Lucy all around us is because people say like, oh, that's the devil after you, like when something, you know what I'm saying? Because like Lucifer, that's what Lucy, you know, if y'all didn't know that. The evil
I didn't. I'm like, Lucy.
Yeah, the evil Lucy all around us. So it's like Lucifer.
I just made a different connection. I can't say it out loud, but I'll tell you later. It's about somebody.
Oh my God. But yeah, so you saying that it's like Lucifer speaking to people, and like I'm not a devil like person, like but like just metaphorically. But
if you take it to tarot, Gemini rules the lovers. What's the opposite of the lovers? The devil. So it directly mirrors the Lover's card. So like the imbalanced energy of Gemini, Lucifer, dark, light.
Yeah. Let him bring it around town.
Whoa.
Like this. Okay, let me stop.
You got shit gets. See how you can go crazy, man?
Yeah. No, for real. Shit. No, but like, wow, no. When that came up, I'm sorry, like I may check this out. I kind of want to bring this up though. When I heard the evils of Lucy all around us, it felt like something. Like it felt like a voice.
Because when you said it, I'm like, what?
But it felt like something like.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I definitely see. Yeah.
That was weird. Okay, but yeah, I hope you get that. Anyway.
that message was for somebody out there.
Yeah. Something interesting about Uranus is that it sits on a horizontal axis and not a vertical one like most of the other planets. So it rolls like this and not like this. So that's cute. It wants to be different.
Right.
Oh, different, like a visional. Okay.
Right. Exactly. Different, like.
Okay, Aquarius vibe. It's like what?
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, to kind of say.
Okay.
Okay. To title it, just Uranus does, I think, influences like political movements.
Yes.
So it's interesting because when Uranus was in Libra, check my notes, between 1968 and 1974, the women's liberation movement was really out and kind of really took speed. You got that. You got like sexuality started getting a little bit more like free in that. You had Woodstock.
It was a freaky. Y'all, the 70s was freaky. Okay. It was some. It was a freak. It was a freak off. No. Never mind. Okay, freak off. No, but it was the freaks flew. The freaks flew. The freaks flew in the 70s.
Balls was flying. The music was good.
Yeah.
The drinks were flowing.
Yo, the psychedelics were psychedelic.
Yeah. Very Venetian. Because psychedelics, Pisces. Venetian.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a vibe. So the next outer planet we're going to speak about is Neptune, and this is a dream planet. It's a dreamy, it's the illusions, creative, spiritual. It co-rules Pisces, and what else? It influences art and pop culture. And one thing I saw in my little book, hold on, my handy dandy book. So, an interesting fact about, Neptune, like during like a period situation was like the Roaring 20s, and like that's when like entertainment really kind of came to the forefront, like the black and white movies, the film noir type stuff. What else do you think?
I just know that they were very extravagant with the way that they expressed themselves during that time.
Yeah.
Like decadent, gold, glitz, glam, feather, boas. They're talking dramatically.
Come on, baby.
Right. Come on. How's my gut? They're everywhere.
Pearls and alcohol.
What do you? Yeah.
I'm gonna smoke my cigarette. They was roaring.
They're passing out. They're.
I feel like it's their own version of the 70s. Because it was like their own version of letting their freaks fly.
Right.
Yeah.
After Neptune and Leo, they got a little overindulgent. They got a little bit like they partied too hard.
Yeah.
They partied too hard, and then they went to Virgo, and then the Great Crash of 1929 happened, and got the Great Depression, where everybody had to kind of be a little bit more tidy about how they express themselves.
A little bit tidy. I got a little too lit.
Right. It's like going to church on Sunday morning after you was like,
the hangover. Like recovering from your hangover.
Exactly. Like, let's get it together.
Yeah. So the last outer planet we're going to speak about is Pluto, the forgotten planet, the dwarf planet. Because I sure forgot about it.
Yeah, everybody forgets about like Scorpios, like over Scorpio.
Yeah, it's the hidden planet. I mean, I see why it's like it co-rules Scorpio because
occultish.
Yeah, but Pluto rules transformation, rebirth. The hidden, the unseen, the taboo, even. Very power secrets. Very 8th house energy. Mystery.
Yes. Intensity.
Yes, and that's the longest generational planet,
yeah.
right? I think it really kind of aligns with like a millennial, Gen X, Gen Z type vibes.
It's like 12 years or somewhere around there. Yeah. Pluto and Sagittarius generation is like my generation, Gen Z. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I consider myself a zillennial, slightly.
Yeah, I'm kind of a zillennial too.
Yeah.
Cause
us 90s kids, but
I
feel like Pluto in general just kind of speaks to collective healing. Mm-hmm. But healing in a violent way, like healing in a way where it's like, I'm sick of this, I can't take this anymore. Yeah. And then you just start like ripping shit off and tearing shit down and starting anew. Yeah. And it's like you're waiting to exhale moment where you're like, I'm fucking fed up. I'm gonna go change this. I'm gonna heal, and then afterwards, it's like a nice renewal and healing, and then that's when the cycle of life starts. Because you gotta remember that with death comes life. Yeah. So you still gotta make room for that. And I feel like with Plutonian energy, it's sometimes easy to get wrapped up in the aspect of the death and the dying and the dark.
Yeah, energy, the darkness of it,
and forget that it's also rules like light, and it also rules like living and being so intense about living and having like a passion towards living.
Yeah. I mess with that. I mess with the vibes. Mm-hmm. My Pluto's in Scorpio, so it's at home. I'm a millennial, really. So
I didn't know your Pluto was in Scorpio. Okay.
Most of us are in Scorpio, and the thing is like people say, "Oh my God, millennials." People say like millennials say like, "Yeah, we just want to like play with our arts and crafts and just like be nostalgic." And because like this whole thing that's going on TikTok is like a lot of Gen Zers are saying like, saying they're more like the boomers. Like Gen Z is comparing themselves to boomers because they complain so much and they're just like, and they say, you know what, like millennials are better than us because like they're just out the way. They don't want to complain. It's like, yeah, because we've been through so much and we're so traumatized and we just want to be out the way and just play with like our old Polly Pockets and like Barbies and just like draw. Like if you look at my office, you could tell that I'm a millennial. My office is very playful. Like the art that I have on my wall.
The way I view millennial is I'm in the brain rot Gen Z. So like what you just described, I never seen that. I'm in the like you look at something and you'll be like, why do they find that funny?
See, like,
It's like
my
really
generation,
legitimately
like, we
confused.
love, like, SpongeBob, or, like, we love, like, very...
Mine is like, you laughing at, like, some shit that's like, I don't even know. Like, it's just like a fucking, like, really, like, crunchy meme that's been, like, edited hella times, and then it just has, like, random, like, text on it.
Yeah.
And I'll laugh at that for, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then we're just SpongeBob quotes.
Yeah.
I live, you didn't even, like, I said, like, a SpongeBob quote. And you didn't
I didn't catch it?
Yeah, you did not catch it.
Don't say SpongeBob quote on me.
Yeah.
I did watch SpongeBob.
Yeah, but it's like, so I was like, bring it around town. Yeah, that's what I said.
I hear it.
Like that.
I just didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't know about that lady.
I see crazy.
But I think the boomer generation was Leo. So I think that makes sense that what you were saying earlier, because Leo and Sagittarius are fire signs.
Yeah.
So it's like they do have that similar energy of like,
It's like,
and then Scorpio is like,
like, leave me alone.
what?
Like, we're like very emo kids.
Yeah, definitely emo. And it's like, because Scorpio to me is humorous.
Yeah.
And I think people like forget that. So it's kind of like making jokes out of their pain.
And that's what I do. Oh my God.
I think millennials do that a lot. Like,
I did that all day today.
And they're very like, it's kind of like also self-deprecation a little bit.
Oh yeah. Read.
Yeah. But it's like, where Sagittarius is kind of like boastful. But it's also like Gen Z came in and kind of are like switching up beliefs and like it's more spirituality, like more open-minded. It's Sagittarius energy, open-minded spirituality. It's coming after Scorpio's transformation. It's like continuing life and continuing that fire of life. Yeah. So it's like, well, if we got you millennials, that's how I do millennials. Yeah. Like, we got you. I completely understand.
But man,
and you know what? I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna look up.
Yeah, because we tired.
Exactly.
We tired.
I love my millennials. I'll never be like,
oh my God, we're so our generation. Like, especially my current state, and then you. She's been helping me all day. She's been like the sweetest friend ever. Like, honestly, like, she's been.
I love you.
Oh, let me do what y'all do.
It's a different heart.
Yeah. Why?
Girl, we gonna work on. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it took a while.
And now it's this. So you see people doing this. This is Gen Z humor.
Down.
Okay,
anyway, our time about to run out.
Right.
So that is the planets. Make sure you follow along with your worksheets or like write things down on your worksheets and stuff like that. We will have that also linked below on this video. It's a little freebie for you guys, but also make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.